You got people in authority positions in your life who don't like you, they don't like your friends, they're telling you how to live your life. What do you do with something like that? I know. Watch Buffy. Welcome to Buffy Gets Therapized. This is one of my favorite series of all time, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're going to talk about where Buffy confronts the people who watch over her as a slayer, and they try, but as a vampire slayer, and they try and manage her affairs and tell her where to be and what to do and how to do things. And she's been a teenager, and she's listened to them because they were adults, but she's starting to realize that this is largely a group of men who have other motives than her best interest at heart, and she's going to take a stand. And we're going to use this as a guidebook for taking a stand in your own life. So let's do this.
You're late.
Yeah.
It was a power move.
Was there an attack?
Yeah.
We can begin the review at last. We'll skip the more obvious questions.
There isn't going to be a review.
Sorry?
Because they were going to do a performance review on her and whether she gets to continue doing this or not.
No review. No interrogation. No questions you know I can't answer. No hoops. No jumps. No interruptions. See, I've had a lot of people talking at me the last few days. Everyone just lining up to tell me how unimportant I am. And I finally figured out why. Power. I have it. They don't.
Okay, first of all, very true. And the people who will try and control you and keep you in line and tell you that they are the ones in authority in your life are the ones who are the most afraid of you taking the reins yourself. Abusers, controllers, they often try and make people feel powerless so that they never discover the power that they actually have. Abusers and controllers don't actually have the power, but they pretend that they do, and it's like, you walk into a place and you act like you own it and people respect that even if you don't. Abusers and controllers act like you are nothing without them. They act like you can't survive without them. They act like you can't do anything without them. And they do that to establish control because in actuality, if they don't have acolytes, if they don't have people who follow them, who obey their orders, they're actually nothing.
They don't. This bothers them. Glory came to my home today.
Buffy, are you...
Just to talk. She told me I'm a bug, I'm a flea. She could squash me in a second. Only she didn't. She came into my home, and we talked. We had what in her warped brain probably passes for a civilized conversation. Why? Because she needs something from me. Because I have power over her. You guys didn't come all the way from England to determine whether or not I was good enough to be let back in. You came to beg me to let you back in.
Again, abusers and controllers will try and convince you that you need them when really they need you. And you don't. You don't need them.
To give your jobs, your lives, some semblance of meaning.
This is beyond insolence.
I'm fairly certain I said no interruptions.
That was excellent.
You're watchers. Without a slayer, you're pretty much just watching masterpiece theater. You can't stop Glory. You can't do anything with the information you have except maybe publish it in the Everyone Thinks We're Insano's home journal. So here's how it's gonna work. You're gonna tell me everything you know. Then you're gonna go away. You'll contact me if and when you have any further information about Glory. The magic shop will remain open, Mr. Giles will stay here as my official watcher, reinstated at full salary.
Retroactive.
To be paid retroactively from the month he was fired. I will continue my work with the help of my friends.
I don't want a sword thrown at me, but civilians, we're talking about children.
We're talking about 2 very powerful witches and a 1,000-year-old ex-demon.
Willow's a demon?
The boy? No power there.
The boy's clocked more field time than all of you combined. He's part of the unit.
That's why they speak.
I've clocked field time.
Now, you all may be very good at your jobs. The only way we're gonna find out is if you work with me. You can all take your time thinking about that. But I want an answer right now from Quentin. Because I think he's understanding me.
So you're either in a review board that gets to determine whether I get to be the Slayer, whether I get to do this, or actually, no, if I'm not the Slayer, you don't have jobs. So I'm not the Slayer, you don't have a place in the world, you have to figure out something else. Let's not get confused about who's holding the cards here, right? And in this case, you can work with me and we can be a team, but if you try and stand over me or control me, then there is no you, right? At least not in this capacity. We're almost done, then I'll have some thoughts.
Because I think he's understanding me.
Your terms are acceptable.
Sorry. See? No begging.
In your life, you are autonomous. If you are an adult, you are autonomous by law. That means you get to make decisions for yourself. That means you get to choose who you are and what you do. And the only reason it would seem like you don't is because there are people in your lives who, maybe for selfish reasons or maybe for good motives, they care about you, they think they know best, but they still try and take the reins away from you. That is not freedom. That is not adulthood. And the thing is, as we see in this clip, they are unlikely to give you the reins of their own volition. You have to assert yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. And what that means, in this case, she threw a sword at somebody, and so everyone was silent. And in your case, I'm not advocating that you throw weapons at anybody but I am saying that in your case, you'll likely get pushback. In your case, you'll likely get people who argue and shout you down. And they may try and distract you with this argument or that argument, but what it really comes down to is you have to focus on just the one thing. I am grown. I make these decisions. And I like that she puts them in their place. Their place is advisory. Listen, I will listen to what you have to say. I'll listen to your information. I'll listen to your opinions. But ultimately, I make decisions for me, not you. I'm the one who gets to decide what I do with myself. That is the correct place when you are an adult. When you're a minor, it's a different story. But when you are an adult, that is the correct place for the people in your life. They are here to counsel. They're here to offer their opinions, their 2 cents. At the end of the day, you are going to make the decisions for yourself. And you have to assert that. And when they push back, you just keep coming back to the simple fact. I'm going to make mistakes, but they're my mistakes to make. I'm going to make choices, and they're mine to make. And I'm going to have successes, and those are mine too. What did you think of this Buffy clip? Did you find it inspiring? Did you get value from it? What do you think of my advice? What do you do when people try and control you? How have you broken free of that? I want to hear it in the comments below. Let me know. We've got other Buffy videos. We've got a Buffy playlist right here for you to enjoy as I react and respond to awesome things from that show. Until next time, folks, keep shining because we need your light. And there's that video that I was telling you about right there. Clicky, clicky, watchy, watchy.